I intentionally tried to get rejected every single day this month, and this is what happened. First, I went to 2 different coffee shops and I asked them if I could have the coffee for free, expecting them to say no, but instead they said yes, so then I got 2 free coffees. Next, I asked a business if I could shadow their marketing meeting so that I could learn as much as I can as a marketing major, expecting them to say no, but then they said yes, so then I got to shadow their meeting. Next, I asked a small business in my city if I could run their social media page for 1 week, expecting them to say no, but then they said yes, so I had to make content for them and I got to get to know them better, and it was really fun. Next, I asked a group of strangers if I could join their plans with them just for fun, and they said yes. Next, I asked an employee at a paint store if I could work a shift with them, expecting them to say no, and then they said yes, so I got to use the paint shakers and do all that stuff. Next, I went to a restaurant and I asked them if I could exchange 1 free meal for a review on TikTok, expecting them to say no, and they said yes, so I got a free meal. Next, I asked a flower shop if I could arrange my own bouquet, expecting her to say no, but then she said yes, and I got to arrange a bouquet of flowers for my roommate. Then I asked a clothing store if I could dress one of their mannequins, expecting her to say no, but she said yes, so I got to dress a mannequin. And I asked for a tour of an off-limits area, expecting them to say no, but then they said yes, and I got to tour this vault at the bottom of a bar. The last thing I did is I went up to 2 different girls that I thought looked cool and I asked them if they wanted to be friends, expecting them to say no, but then they said yes, so now we're friends. I started doing rejection therapy to prove to myself it's not so scary to ask for things, but I started with small things and I worked my way up to the bigger things. And I'm gonna keep doing rejection therapy because what I've learned is there are way more opportunities than I realized when you're just willing to